And now it's time for Windy City Sports Talk. And your host, Ryan Young. Hello, Chicago! Welcome to this live Friday, November the 4th edition of Windy City Sports Talk. I am Ryan Young. Of course, the original plan for today was for me to be down in Chicago and be at the parade. But I set an alarm for 5:15. I was supposed to, or 5 o'clock, catch a bus to Kenosha about 6:30, and then, or 6:15, and then eventually get to the parade. But I woke up at 5, and then I turned on my side, and I didn't wake up till 6:45, and then the moo got mad at me. Mm-hmm. So I ended up, which I think was the better option, I stayed away, as it was just reported, 5 million people were at the parade today. But of course, it's the end of an era. It's the end of a baseball season, but that doesn't mean, and it's Friday, so it's time for the final Son Father Friday. So joining me today live is the big galoot, Papa Shango, Willy. Willy, how we doing?
Never better.
Now, the last time you were on here was Wednesday, before Game 7. Talk about your experience in Game 7 of the World Series.
My experience from Game 7 was one of from the highest to the lowest. Especially after Rajai Davis hits the home run to tie the game up. Like I told you, we were watching it. I felt like the air in the room was sucked out. And my heart went down to my stomach, and I didn't know if I can handle it again. And
Nick was on the show yesterday. He called in. He was my co-host yesterday. And I told him as soon as Rajai Davis hit that home run, I didn't think there was a chance in hell that the Cubs were going to win that game. Then all of a sudden the rain delay happens. Jason Hayward does it will eventually become infamous. The locker room, in the weight room, the speech. Mm-hmm. Then they come out. Schwarber hits the home run. Schwarber gets a hit. Then you get then he gets pinch ran for. Sack fly. Walk Rizzo for Zobrist to get the game winning hit. Then Montero. Cubs lead 8-6. Davis does it again, making it 8-7. And the last out, Mike Montgomery gets that last out from Chris Bryant to Anthony Rizzo. Michael Martinez makes the last out. The only thing he'll ever be known for is a trivia question. And the Cubs are 2016 World Series champions. I don't think I can say that enough.
You don't have to. Been said, been done, and am I right now? As I told you the other night when I grabbed yourself and your mother and we hugged in a threesome, I had what words did I utter to you?
Or I can die with peace, or no. I can live in peace, or something like that.
Well, you don't even remember.
Well, no, because the Cubs just kind of won a World Series.
I said my life is complete.
There we go. Talk a little bit about the rich. Talk about we're superstitious here in the Young household. Explain to me and to them what exactly we changed up on the TV area on Sunday morning.
Well, try to make a long story short. Saturday night when I went to bed, I decided to snack a little bit, and there was a bag of salted in the shell peanuts.
Your pre-poo-poo peanuts.
Well, they were there. I thought I'd get a bowl and crack a few, and I did. Lo and behold, as I'm cracking them and grabbing them, there's one that drops out. I don't know. It looks like it just floated out and fell on me. And I picked it up and I go, what the? Lo and behold, it's a 3-bagger peanut. A Ron Santo special that we always used to listen to on the radio. When he gets the 3-baggers, he's happy. And maybe because he was a third baseman. But man, I grabbed the peanut. And then I come out to you and I told you the next morning, I go, right. I got a sign. I got a sign tonight. Being down 3-1. The peanut.
And then oddly enough, before you even did that same morning, I put out, without even knowing about your peanut, I put out the Ron Santo Passion t-shirt.
That makes it more ironic.
So it's like me and you both thought of the one guy that if there was someone up there that was going to give the Cubs faith, it was going to be Ronnie.
You can call it a last gasp effort. Like most of us Cub fans are, 90% of them. We have things we go through. Little innuendos that, this will work, this will work. Well, I don't know. I've been a lifetime fan since the mid-'60s, and when that happened, I just felt it.
And, of course, the parade today was great. It took a little bit. Like I said, 5 million people. It's just been reported. We were down there, and that was another reason why I wasn't too fond of that. Not a crowd guy. I mean, I've been to 2 WrestleManias, but that's an organized crowd. It's not organized when you don't have assigned seats and there's people everywhere. So a lot of people asking me, why didn't you go? That's the reason. And I think I had the best view in the house. Because being able to watch it all on TV with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Kind of irreplaceable.
To me, it was like watching another game. And you hate to see
when you have Gary Pressey playing the organ after every word that...
Absolutely. And like I said, it was like watching another game. I was hyped. I would see all the guys come out. And knowing it's the ending, and what a fitting ending. It was just, it was perfect. The skies are blue. The Chicago River is blue. I'm not blue. I'm feeling fine.
Yes, and the Cubs are just a great... you saw... They were talking on the pregame, and by the way, it was awesome to see Dave Kaplan, Todd Hollandsworth, John Cusack, and CM Punk, and then Joan Cusack.
They had a lot of celebrities.
Great duo, but they asked who was going to be that rowdy man. And it looked like it was Travis Wood, who was wearing the camouflage vest with nothing else. Well, he had pants on.
Well, let me tell you one thing. You got a team full of 20 to 25-year-olds, and the old man got up and partied his ass off. But God bless him. I love Travis.
Because I asked you a trivia question earlier. I said, besides Anthony Rizzo, who else was there in that 2012 101 loss season?
I had to think.
And it was Travis Wood. So they deserve it. I'm starting to fall in love with all the Cubs merchandise. They wore the secondary World Series hats today with the trophy on top and the Cub logo on the side. I fell in love with the winter hat. Shop.com is going to get a lot of...
Merry Christmas.
Yes, well, Merry Christmas to my bank account. Or not, well, actually the other way around. Merry Christmas to shop, as I've bought Christmas gifts for you, little Maya, myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
don't run out of money.
I don't. And I think it's well spent, because you never know, and like the saying goes, you never know when you're going to get back there. So
it's a rough road. I thought hockey.
Yep, you said that. It was. Yeah, you said what a road it is, and it was. I mean, it feels like forever ago. The game we went to on the rooftop, Game 2 of the DS.
It does. It seems like months ago.
And it does, and because it's just the grind. And now, I'm absolutely, I don't know how the players feel, but I feel exhausted.
Probably being going 7 games really made it feel like that.
And tonight will be the first night that Cub fans and Cubs players, I'm not sure if tonight's the night they're going to finally get a chance to rest, but I know I'm going to hit the hay a little earlier tonight.
Oh, you hit it early this morning when the Moo called.
No, I was at 11 to 5, and then I dozed off for another hour, and then I went out and ran.
Well, I think you made the better choice.
Yep, best seat in the house. And then you had Pat Hughes leading the charge.
Perfect MC, best classic professional voice.
And the best way to start it is the way you hear every radio broadcast begin. Chicago Cub baseball is on the air.
What a terrific announcer.
Just a tremendous guy. And then you had Tom Ricketts, to Jed Hoyer, to Theo Epstein, to
my favorite.
To Crane Kenny. To who?
The guy that did it all, to my and not from a playing standpoint, but...
No, Joltin' Joe.
No.
Oh, what the hell are you talking about? I said Tom Ricketts.
Oh, you did? I didn't think you said Ricketts.
Yeah.
Tom Ricketts is the orchestrator of that band.
And Joe, man, me and you talked about it, and you saw my side of things of what I was talking about. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt for right now because he's a world champion. And he thanked the crowd. He said you fans deserve it, and us fans deserve it. and I think it's been I think it's great. From the player speeches, the Cubs didn't really have anyone that the most heart-wrenching part was when Anthony Rizzo introduced David Ross and started crying, because them two, it's like a father-son type of deal between those two, and that was definitely the most touching moment when you think of the speeches.
Yep, it's very touching, and it's been a theory throughout the last, even when they didn't get to the playoffs, they thought it was his last game, and a lot of hoopla and a lot of tears, and it could be his last game. Well, if you want to go out in baseball, what a scenario he picked.
Yeah, who needs Big Papi to go out with the title when you can have Grandpa Rossi do it?
Oh, my God.
So, the parade today, I think it was absolutely phenomenal. A lot of people, and I think the city did great, and I'm sure the city is going to be loud and proud all weekend. The Chicago River's blue.
I might want to go swimming down there.
No, you'll look like a Smurf.
Whatever.
So I think just a great day, and I think that's exactly what this city needs. Celebrate for the weekend, get back to reality, and I don't think anyone's going to come down from this. I don't think it's really going to set in until April 10th, 2017, when the Cubs get their rings on home opener against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I hope Adrian Gonzalez is out there to witness it. And Yasiel Puig, because they're still 2 wins away from the World Series.
Yes, I remember that well.
And they didn't win another game after that.
Well, I haven't yet to see. Well, we're not going to be able to see what the rings look like. But
they haven't made them yet, but as soon as they do. Sweet. And I'll guarantee you there's a company that I buy stuff through in China called Ally Express. They sell replica rings for like $20. You can guarantee we're going to have one in this house.
Good. Not only that, besides the replica ring, we're already picking out Christmas ornaments for Cardinals.
Oh, my God. Anything you want, they have in Cubs World Series. I don't know. If they have a Cubs thong, I think I'd buy it.
Judd, that's a sight I don't want to see. Why did you bring that up, for God's sake? You could wreck the show. You in a Cub thong? What are you going to do? Go for your walk?
There we go. I could have did that at 2:30 the other morning.
Oh, for fuck's sake, they would have the police out here somewhere looking for you.
But they would say, in a Cubs World Series champion thong. And that's
you think they'd give you a break?
Not in this town.
Not in this town.
So anyway, they have great merchandise, and every day I find something new I want. They don't have a World Series mouse pad, though. They have
I'm sure they're going.
No, but they have a wireless keyboard and a mouse. So do you think should we invest to update my studio?
Oh, yeah. Let's just let it take its course, please.
I think half a cup.
I was already talking toothbrush. Let's just.
I think we need because we have a carpeted bathroom and we have a rug in there. I think we need a Cubs World Series. Every time we get out of the shower to realize, hey, our team's we can't. Every place you go, you cannot forget that you have a World Series championship team, and you get to say it for a year.
I already can't forget saying it, and I don't need much of the merchandise. It's in my head. It's in my head.
I'd hate to know what's in your head. Oh Lord, Papa Sean.
Well,
okay, so that was the parade. The Cubs are world champions. We had Nick Alex in on yesterday. We have Willy today, and then of course we'll have Scott Beatty on Monday, and we'll getting all their responses from when they finally won it. We're about halfway through the show. Before we do our Windy City Sports Minute, we got to recap some stuff. There are other sports going on right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Blackhawks, who've had these parades like today three times.
Hawks.
And they're in action last night against the Colorado Avalanche. First period, Jonathan Taze gets a goal, his second of the season, makes it 1-0 Blackhawks. A little bit later on, Marian Hossa gets his fourth of the season, making it 2-0. Nothing in the second.
He could be called Grandpa Rossi for crying out
loud.
Grandpa
Hossie.
Grandpa Hossie. I love that. How'd you do that? That was nice.
I don't know if he looks like him too.
He's pretty old, so hey, I like that.
Okay, Grandpa. And then in the third period, Grandpa Hossie got his second goal of the game, his fifth of the season. And I don't know who did the fourth one, but the Hawks win 4-0. They struggled in the beginning of the season, but it looks like they're finally starting to get their skates under them.
Yes, they are, and I'll tell you what, they got a young team. I know it's early. My total focus has, of course, not been on the Blackhawks.
No, not at all.
Or the Bulls. It's too early. Yeah. Or the Bears, which has been in the back burner
We'll talk about them in a little bit, because I want your opinion on it.
All right.
But anyway, any more about the Hawks?
But now I'm starting to look forward to it. It's time to get in some Hawks.
And I keep promising the fans, it's been Cubs first. We started the show in September. This show has been nonstop Cubs because it went from September to playoff to World Series. We'll finally it's starting to become winter. We'll get into the winter sports.
Yeah, you had to come up with that, Grandpa Hossey.
Yep, and now I'll call him that.
That's a shout out for Murph. Murph, did you hear that? Grandpa Hossey. It's all going to be in a circular back to the front. I just love it. I'm having a good
And you
time
also
today.
said, back to Grandpa Rossi, you think he'll be on the team next year in some form or fashion.
I really believe.
I think he's going to take a year off.
No.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
It may be a lot.
It's 100 days till spring training.
But if you come back into this organization, the different conditions, just to have him around meant a lot for these young kids. He was like a mentor. Like, he meant so much to the kids. You see Rizzo leaning on him during the game going, I can't handle the moment, and he settles everybody down. A good man to have around. And I think with all that he did and what he did, he deserves to come back in some shape or form.
Yes, and me and you have talked about, and we're going to get back on the merchandise train a little bit, because for some reason I'm fascinated by it. But it just seems, we talked about it, it just seems like that black and gold goes so good with the red, white, and blue of the Cubs.
I believe the logo sets off the gold and the black.
And you know what?
Very nice.
And the day the Cubs get the ring, which is April 10th, 20...
We may be partial.
What?
We may be partial to the Seeings, but...
Yes. Well, I'm not. You're a homer. I try to stay right down the middle.
Not.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
All right.
I call it, guys. I still think Joe Madden should get a little bit of a spanking for his decisions, but we're going to cross that bridge later. But
there.
opening day, April 10th, 2017, when the Cubs, and that is my mother's birthday. She'll be 61.
Yes, she will.
The Cubs will open up against the Dodgers. They'll get their rings, but every year when the champions are home, you know how the Cubs logo, the Cubs uniform with the blue in that will be gold, because they always turn the home opener for the champions. Mm-hmm. Part of it, the numbers and the letters will be gold.
Oh, I didn't.
I think it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be a nice Addison Russell jersey?
April 10th is a night game.
2017. I think I got to go.
Oh, by the way,
because I missed the parade, I might as well be there for the ceremony.
You know what? I made a comment to you earlier in the day that I wouldn't go because it was a night game.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind because I'll be retired.
Not in April. You'll be home. We're right into the summer.
Oh, that's right. The following year. I may go anyways.
Okay.
Mom won't go.
Take a week off. That's a big week.
A day.
Well, you'll need Tuesday off and month. You might need a day to recover. Take 2 days off.
All right, I got them coming.
Okay. So that's that. And so the Blackhawks went 4-0. They did a tremendous job at the United Center last night. They congratulated the Cubs. They played Go Cubs Go in the United Center. And there's Sox fans there because, it's the one team of hockey. And there was Cubs W flags. And even Nick messaged me last night, Nick Alexson, who was on the show yesterday. He said, even as a diehard hockey fan, he's like, it's silent there because the buzz is solely around baseball.
Well, it's a citywide thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to go to a Hawk game or a Bull game when the Cubs are in the World Series
and then
not see a W flag. I mean, this is more than citywide.
This is nationwide.
Yeah, thank you.
And 40 million people watched that Game 7.
I think that broke records.
The most watched since Game 7, if you remember that, in 2001. Everyone wanted the Yankees to win because that was 9/11 year. And Luis Gonzalez, home run, or base hit. Bob Brenly gets his World Series.
Not to jump on that, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we go back to your stats on the most watched World Series game ever and the ratings they got. Now, let me give it back to you and ask you a question. If it's Cleveland versus the Dodgers, you think it's anywhere near that?
LA's a big market.
That's where I disagree with you on the ratings.
No, the Dodgers are nationwide also, because don't forget, there's a lot of old fans that remember them when they played in Brooklyn.
Okay, we'll stay disagreed.
Okay.
I'll just let you at that.
Okay, so that's that. So the Blackhawks, when we got some preview to do, both teams, the Bulls and Blackhawks, play twice this weekend, including tonight when a familiar face returns to the United Center. But before we do that, it's time for the Windy City Sports Minute. This is your Windy City Sports Minute for Friday, November the 4th. Well, today is the day we all have dreamed of, and that is a parade in Chicago for your 2016 World Series champion Chicago Cubs. Happened earlier today in Grant Park, and of course went all throughout Chicago. Tons and tons of fans, including me, filing out for that. Of course, the Blackhawks currently, of this recording, up 2-0 over the Colorado Avalanche as they try to win their third straight game. Blackhawks will drop the puck in Dallas and then home against Dallas Saturday and Sunday respectively. The Bulls will welcome Derrick Rose back to the United Center and Joakim Noah tonight, 7 p.m. ESPN, and they'll be in Indiana tomorrow night as well. So that is your Windy City Sports Minute. Now back to Windy City Sports Talk. Okay, we're back here on Windy City Sports Talk. It's Friday, the final 9 minutes of Papa Sean. He'll return. What are you? We're going to return next year for the Cubs season? Are you going to return next year for the playoffs again? When does Papa Sean come out of hibernation?
He's going to come out in the big moments. I made that.
How about a Bears Super Bowl run?
Boy, you really got a pipe going. What are you smoking?
What are your thoughts on that? Halloween night, Jay Cutler opened his eyes. I think he was auditioning for 31 teams. I don't think exactly he was playing for the Bears in that game. Your thoughts overall on the Bears? They're 2-6. I still think a lot has to happen. I think they have a chance to win the division. But go ahead.
Division-wise, I think you're smoking more of the pipe.
No.
I'll tell you one thing. They look like a different team behind them. They actually did. I didn't expect it. I thought they'd get murdered. I thought Cutler would get mauled. And I seen a totally different thing. And I seen younger guys coming in for older guys that were knocked out, like Josh Sitton and the other guy that was out beside him. And younger guys stepped at a plate and they were excited and jumping around. I seen a different mode. Whether it be short term, long term, whatever, I felt good about the game. Let's hope it continues.
So hopefully, and again, they're off. There's a bye this week. They'll be in Tampa next week. And I'll break that game down a little bit next week. Of course, Jameis Winston. Dad, you've kind of led the way with my fantasy football team this year, but you've let it into the ground.
Well, I try my best. Anyways, speaking about Jameis Winston, he may not be coming back. He's hurt.
And Alex Smith, my other quarterback's hurt. So what are you going to do?
Well, actually, you got Joe Flacco going.
Oh, good.
He's coming off a bye week.
Oh,
you'll be fine.
Okay, folks, let's time to preview the weekend coming up. First, for the Blackhawks, they will have a home-at-home. For you folks that don't know what that is, that means it's a 2 back-to-back games against the same team, and both teams get a home game. Well, it'll start off Saturday night in Dallas, Texas, where I just was in April or March for WrestleMania. They take on the Dallas Stars, 7 p.m. on WGN Saturday. Then Sunday, 6 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet. I believe there's a Patrick Sharp's on the on the Dallas Stars.
I believe you might be right.
So it'll be nice to see a familiar face face the Blackhawks for 2 games.
Yeah, and I don't think Dallas is like a
pushover,
nothing team. I think they got.
No, I'll get you some stats in a second.
I got
Stay
a jersey
me.
from my daughter Carrie that she got me when she went to Dallas.
Yes, she did. What a gal, big sis.
Oh yeah.
She went online and bought a Cubs World Series shirt today.
She did?
Yeah. She's feeling the Cubby royalty.
Yes, are a lot of people.
I know. And Johnny Costello.
Hey, listen, when you're brought up in this family, you better come behind the old man or you're gonna be out.
Dallas is 4-4-2.
4-4?
4-4-2.
It's early.
Hawks are 4-7-3-1. What a start.
That's a good start. Very good start.
Tyler Seguin leads them in points for the Stars. So a nice job there by him. And he's actually the leading in everything for them, Tyler Seguin. So good for the...
Until the Hawks defense sets them down.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Yes. Well, it's hard to, Papa Sean.
You haven't talked about the Bulls.
We're going to get to the Bulls.
You have 5 minutes.
There's always time to talk about Derrick Rose. Okay, let's talk about the weekend. Trying to find out who the hell else is on this team that the Hawks have to play for the next 2 days. Yeah, Patrick Sharp, he's playing 4 games. He's got 1 assist and 1 point. I wonder if he's hurt. Sharpie.
I don't think about that. He's gone.
He's played in 4 games out of 8. He hasn't played in the last 2 games, so I'm guessing he's hurt. It'll be a stab in the dark. Okay, let's let's talk about the Bulls now. You know that team from Chicago? Mm-hmm. They'll be at the United Center tonight, hosting the New York Knickerbockers.
Who are 1-3.
Jeff Hornacek. Jeff?
It's Jeff.
Remember Wipey Face? Remember those days? That was my first year getting a chance to watch.
Yeah, the free throw line. He had a little stigma where he used to rub his hand across the top of his brow.
I got to enjoy 1 year. That was my last. I only got to enjoy 1 year of Michael Jordan, and that was the year.
Those were years where Jordan made
Karl Malone, John
Utah.
Stockton. Did they meet Utah 2 years in a row in this finals?
They met him enough to break their hearts like he broke many hearts
What a
of
list.
many other teams.
What a list. You had Karl Malone, John Stockton, Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley.
A list of guys that we'll never see what goes on the hand, like a ring.
No. So, but anyway, tonight, speaking of not getting a ring, Derrick Rose returns.
Oh, boy.
And Joakim Noah. I'm a fan of Joakim Noah. I said he was the pulse of this team in the playoff races because Derrick Rose was modeling suits. But tonight they return. They're both going to get a standing ovation because they're loved, and Noah deserves it. Rose does not. But what are your thoughts on seeing them two come back to the United Center?
First thought about seeing both of them come back to the United Center?
Yes.
First thought to my mind comes to injuries. They're always hurt.
I never knew about plantar fasciitis until Joakim Noah was a Bull.
It's a nasty disease.
And so what are your thoughts? You think the Bulls can pull this one out? It'd be fun to see them amp up.
Actually, the Bulls are so uplifted by not having them on their team that they spank them.
Okay, that game will be at 7 p.m. tonight on on ESPN. Tomorrow night, Bulls will get another test. So it'll be in Indiana. In Indiana. Take on the Pacers at 6 p.m. on Comcast Sportsnet.
Little rougher game there.
The Bulls already beat them once at home, but again, they did that with the Celtics, and then the Celtics beat the Bulls.
All right, it's hard to come back twice.
So now it's time to face in their house, back-to-back games with traveling. Mm-hmm. It might not go as planned for the Bulls as they try to sweep the board.
The traveling part is really not that far.
No, it's like by the time you get up in the air, you're there.
I can drive the bus backwards. Please.
They probably are taking a bus.
It's like going to Milwaukee.
Because I know I went. Me and Coach T had to waddle through Indianapolis to get to Nashville.
I don't know if you waddle.
We're not going to go there. So anyway, that's the weekend. You got the Blackhawks on Saturday, 7 p.m. WGN at the Stars. Bulls tonight are home against the Knicks at Pacers tomorrow night, and then the Stars are home at the United Center against the Hawks on Sunday. What? We got 2 minutes left.
Just a culmination of everything that's happened this year on the show. I know I've been wrong a lot.
Yep.
And I am a homer.
Yep. You're David Kaplan-esque.
Well, in other words, if I am a homer, I just hit a homer with the World Series title coming to Chicago.
And I could say it a million times, and I have the World Series shirt hanging up, and I told my dad and mom.
Beautiful thing.
I showed my mom and dad that, and I told them this morning, I'm like, I might not ever
wear it.
I don't know. I kind of like it where it's at.
Well, let's put it in plastic or something. And
I have to wear it. I got to wear it when I'm going to
starch it. Maybe sit in a corner.
Maybe
or
when
something.
I go
maybe it'll stand up.
Maybe when I go to Raw in December, I'll rock the World Series shirt.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, folks. We got a final minute left, Dad. I'd like to thank you for all the fun times we had. We did the traffic report. That was fun. Peony dropping keys. It's been a fun couple months. Your mom and them got a chance to listen a bunch of times. They love it, and I appreciate everyone that's listened. Pretty much the highest listens we get are when me and you are doing this together. So let this not be the last time. And once you retire, I think you got a new gig.
I think you could be right, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope the rest of the folks that listened have. And we'll be back next year in a whole new trail to start on. And who knows? Back to back?
I said Dynasty, so why not?
Don't go there.
I'm going. I'm already there. I'm on the Dynasty boat. Okay, everyone, have a great weekend. If you're celebrating the Cubs all weekend,
take care, everybody.
Party for me. I got to work tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
Don't go to Scully's. It's closed. And that'll do it. Everyone have a wonderful weekend.
I'll miss you guys.
We'll be back Monday for Papa Sean.
See you next year.
I'm Ryan Young. Scott Beatty's back on Monday, unfortunately. Have a great day, Chicago!